In early 2024, two devices landed with a mission: kill the smartphone. From opposite ends of the pricing spectrum, the Rabbit R1 and the Humane AI Pin promised a new AI powered future where you'd voice your commands, and a standalone gadget would handle the rest. No screen addiction, no app grid. Venture capital poured in, the press swooned, headlines called them the next big thing. But a few months later, the verdict was in. Both were slower, less useful, and more frustrating than the phone you already owned. According to multiple reviews and company filings, the AI gadget revolution was dead on arrival. This is the story of two overhyped devices, the numbers behind their collapse, and why they're now permanent residents of the product graveyard. First up, the Rabbit R1. Priced at $199 and designed by Teenage Engineering, this pocketable orange box looked like a retro Playdate handheld. It had a 2.88-inch screen, a scroll wheel, a camera, and a push to talk button. The big sell was its large action model, or LAM, which Rabbit claimed could navigate apps on your behalf, ordering food, booking rides, or even controlling your music just by speaking. The official product page still touts unlimited AI at no extra cost and a new way to create. But as reviewers soon discovered, the LAM was less of a magic wand and more of a party trick. Then there was the Humane AI Pin, more expensive at $699, plus a mandatory $24 monthly subscription. This was a screenless wearable that clipped to your shirt and projected a green laser display onto your palm. It relied entirely on voice commands and gesture controls. The pitch, according to Humane, was a post smartphone world driven by ambient AI. Early hands on reports from CES were cautiously optimistic, but many noted the projector was hard to see in daylight and the AI often needed a few seconds to respond, an eternity in gadget years. Still, the price tag suggested premium ambition. By mid 2024, both devices had shipped to customers and reviewers, and the reality check came fast. Engadget's Rabbit R1 review hit in May, calling it a 199 AI toy that fails at almost everything. The verdict wasn't isolated. Multiple outlets reported that the Humane AI Pin overheated after a few minutes of use, gave wrong answers to simple queries, and the laser display was nearly invisible outside. Within weeks, the narrative flipped from phone killer to cash grab. As one reviewer put it, both were fundamentally useless devices meant to attract hype and VC funding. Let's unpack the Rabbit R1's failures. According to Engadget's review, the LAM rarely worked as advertised. Instead of seamlessly ordering an Uber, it often misunderstood destinations or stalled. The device's battery lasted barely a day, sometimes dying by afternoon. Its glossy plastic casing felt cheap, like a child's toy. And then came the final blow. Technically savvy users discovered you could run the R1 interface on a regular Android phone, meaning the bespoke orange box added nothing your phone couldn't already do. Rabbit's team pushed back, clarifying security concerns, but the damage was done. The gadget had lost its only reason to exist. The Humane AI Pin fared no better. In tests by The Verge and other outlets, the device frequently shut down due to overheating. Its battery pack was bulky, and the magnetic attachment meant it could easily fall off clothing. The laser ink display, while novel, was impossible to use in bright environments. The AI model behind it, a mix of in house and third party services, frequently hallucinated or gave outdated information. For a device that cost nearly $700 and a subscription, users expected reliability. Instead, they got a close-mounted fire hazard with a projector that flickered in sunlight. According to critics, the form factor was a solution in search of a problem. In the weeks after launch, a bombshell hit forums and tech blogs. The Rabbit R1 was essentially an Android app running on proprietary hardware. Engineers ported the front end to standard Android phones, showing the R1 software worked fine without the custom controller. This fueled accusations that Rabbit sold a $199 wrapper for a free software experience. The company defended its security and integration, but the optics were terrible. According to reporting by The Verge and others, many early adopters felt cheated. The controversy underlined a stark truth. Both devices competed not with each other, but with the smartphone already in your pocket. By early 2025, Humane's fate was sealed. After failing to gain traction, the company shopped itself to potential buyers. In February 2025, HP announced it would acquire Humane's platform and team for $116 million, a fraction of the company's earlier valuations. The deal came with a brutal shutdown timeline. AI pins already sold would stop working entirely on February 28, 2025 at 3 p.m. ET. According to a support document from Humane, any device not wiped before then became a paperweight. The post-smartphone dream had died, not with a bang, but with an acquisition email and a server switch off. In May 2025, Apple's former design chief, Jony Ive, gave a rare interview. He didn't mince words. Ive called both the Rabbit R1 and Humane AI Pin bad products, criticizing a lack of new thinking. His comments echoed what reviewers had been saying for months. But the most telling response came from Rabbit's founder, Jesse Liu. In an emailed statement to The Verge, Liu called Ive his hero, but then drew a sharp line. We don't like to be put side by side with Humane, a company that stopped trying, got acquired, and shut down. Even the surviving founder wanted to distance himself from the dead AI pin. The gadget graveyard was growing crowded. So, what about Rabbit? The R1 never formally shut down. It's still for sale on the official website. The team pivoted to Rabbit OS 2.0, announcing a multi agent system called Intern. They even offered a free trial of Intern without requiring the R1 hardware, but the hype has evaporated. By mid 2025, there were no breakout success stories, no viral demos, no shipments rivaling even niche gadgets. According to The Verge, the large action model hype had dissipated. The R1 remains a niche curiosity, a lesson that survival doesn't equal success. The product graveyard accepts both the dead and the undead. Why did both devices fail? The core answer is simple. They solved a problem nobody had. Smartphones already have powerful AI assistants. Siri, Google Assistant, and countless apps can do everything these gadgets promised, often faster and more reliably. Standalone AI hardware added friction. Another device to charge, wear, and carry, and they came with steep learning curves and premium price tags. Critics repeatedly pointed out that a $600 phone beats a $700 pin. The AI revolution wasn't about replacing screens, it was about software, and that software was already in your pocket. History is littered with standalone gadgets that lost to multifunction devices, PDAs before smartphones, MP3 players before streaming phones, point and shoot cameras before computational photography. The Rabbit R1 and Humane AI Pin join that list. Their demise wasn't about technology alone, it was about understanding how people live with tech. As one review noted, a truly compelling AI assistant needs to integrate seamlessly into daily life, not demand a new piece of jewelry. The next AI hardware hit, if it ever comes, will need to offer not just new features, but new indispensability. Until then, the graveyard keeps growing. In the end, the Rabbit R1 and Humane AI Pin are case studies in hype driven hardware. Venture dollars, charismatic founders, and CES glitz can generate a launch, but only solving a real problem can sustain a product. The $116 million HP deal shows Humane's tech had some value, but the product itself was a dead end. Rabbit's survival, even in zombie mode, is more about stubbornness than market fit. Both now rest in the product graveyard, memorialized by bad reviews and memes. They promised to replace your phone. Instead, they just made you appreciate how much your phone already does. Thanks for the demo, but we'll stick with the screen.